Hey, it's Nikki, and we're back. We're going to do a review of Shameless Season 9, Episode 12. You're like, but you've never done this before. But I love me some Shameless, and I was like, okay, I should probably review these episodes. And I didn't review last week's episode, so we're going to do a quick little recap, and then we're going to get into this episode. Okay, so I have my notes. So if I'm looking down, looking this way, it's my notes. Don't come for me. You don't know my life. Uh, Cav got a Kev didn't want to get a vasectomy. V wanted him to get a vasectomy, and he went and he does what all like the TV dads do, or like all the TV guys do. Like he fakes like he had a vasectomy, and V was mad when she found out, so he's like, I go make that appointment. I get it right here and right now. Fiona and Lip, oh no, Fiona cost Lip the chance to raise Zan, and it's just like Fiona's like on a downward spiral. She just been going through it, and she got his sponsor. Like his sponsor was sober, and she ended up getting him drunk, and it's just like she was like she didn't know, but he's like, you don't care enough to know now because you're like, she's never in the right mind, but so she doesn't really ask about anything. She doesn't really care about anything except possibly getting drunk, and Lip is really just like pissed off at her. Lip's girlfriend is pregnant. Carl thinks Debbie is trying to steal his girlfriend Kelly, and it's just like, it's a mess this season. And Frank's baby mama, which is played by the beautiful, and talented Katie Sagal. Katie Sagal Sutter. Sorry, I had to get her name right. I love her. I loved her as Peg Bunty. I loved her as Tarangalila. I loved her as Gemma Teller. Okay, and I love her now. Okay. Also, I loved her as Kate on Eight Simple Rules. I've always loved her. She's like a really good actress and musician. Frank was running for some type of hobo man thing, and he was gonna get some money from that. And she like lied and said she was miscarrying to see if he would like come to her, because the kids basically were like, he's not gonna help you. And when Frank didn't, she decided to go back with her ex-husband and get some help. And the ex-husband wrote Frank a check, and I was like, Frank, what you gonna do with that check? So we get into this new episode. Xana and Lip are saying goodbye, and the beginning of the episode, and Lip, no, and it's just like not Lip. It's just sad. It's really sad. It reminds me of when a parent gets their child ready for the first day of school, or the first day of camp, or they're saying goodbye to them and dropping them off for the first day of college. It's just like really sad because you don't want them to go, and he doesn't want her to go, but he has to, and he just wants to, he just like he loves her and he just wants to protect her, but at this very moment he can't protect her because when social services came to do a inspection of the home, Fiona was drunk in the middle of the day and couldn't do what normal Fiona does, which is spin a story to get them out of trouble or fix the situation. So Lip is just like really blaming her. He's just like really upset. Zhang gives him like a little, like those little homemade friendship bracelets, and he asked her, how'd you make this? And she was like, Kelly helped me, and Kelly is Carl's girlfriend. Um, as Zan and the social worker are leaving, so the social worker can take her to her new house. She's just like, it's nobody's fault. She's like telling him, A, it's nobody's fault, and B, not to be sad. It's really sad. I'm just going by most of the people. I can't do this in order because it's like a long episode. Lip goes to talk to Tammy, and she don't want to talk. She's at work. She don't want to talk. She don't want to do nothing. And I know I say "and" a lot in a lot of things. Don't come for me. You don't know my life. He goes to talk to her about the baby, and he just like whatever she chooses, he just wants to be there, and it's a mess. It's really a mess. We're still on the whole Lip thing. Lip tells the no. Lip is at work with his boss, who is also his coworker slash boss, who is also Tammy's brother-in-law, and her two sisters, which is one the boss's wife and sister-in-law, like the younger sister, which he calls the Goon Squad. He is afraid of them, terrified. The Goon Squad threatens Lip. It's like, you don't, because Tammy was crying when she talked to him. It's just like, don't do anything to Tammy or we're going to come back and we're going to jack you up. That's not what they said, but I'm not trying to get in trouble on here. And it's just like, Goon Squad, y'all are a mess. Y'all terrify people. Not me, but y'all put fear in the men's hearts, okay? Liv tells Fiona she needs to go to a meeting because around this time, Fiona and Frank come back to the house. And oh yeah, Lip went upstairs. This is back to the beginning of this episode after Zan takes off and everything with the social worker to take her to his new house. He goes upstairs to Fiona's room, puts all her stuff in a trash bag, and throws it out. And it's just like I told her to leave in the last episode. She ain't left, so she needs to get out. And he tells her you need to go to a meeting. Fiona looks at him. She goes into the refrigerator. She gets a beer and she drinks it. I thought she was gonna spit it back in his face, but she didn't. Frank tells Lip he needs to stop blaming Fiona, and Lip was like, "For what?" And he's just like, "Oh no," he says you need to stop blaming her and start thanking her. And Lip was like, "What do I need to thank her for?" He was just basically, "Do you understand how hard it is to take care of 6 kids? I couldn't have done it without her help. Really, you didn't help at all. She took care of all 6 of them kids, okay?" And it's just like you never really noticed that Fiona was you noticed from the beginning, but you never really noticed the things that didn't happen, like they didn't show us before the series started, or the things that happen in between, like when the series concludes and then they start filming again. However long the gap is like all the stuff Fiona did for those kids and all the time she had to take care of them. We got like a little inkling, we got a little feeling, or when we got the speech when she was trying to get guardianship or custody over the kids. No, when she was trying to get custody and ended up getting guardianship, she was explaining everything that was done. And it's just like she really took care of those kids, but it's just like Fiona is in a downward spiral because she thought that she could be so much better than what she was. She thought that she could be better than the Southside girl she was raised to be, and she was on her way there, and she had some setbacks, and it just drove her to drinking, and it's just it's a mess. Um, if we get to Fiona, because I'm going by each person, Fiona and some of the things will be tangled together. Fiona, she goes to Patsy's and she's there to get her last paycheck, and she's just being really mean and really bitchy, and it's a mess. When she's leaving, it's just you can see her feeling everything that she's been feeling for way before the series started, and it's just now weighing heavy on her and breaking her down to where she's now turning alcohol almost every single day, and she's looking worse for wear. She looked like she ain't had a shower in a minute. That's what I felt. And she looks like at any time she could just lose it and go off on somebody. She goes to the alibi to cash a $150 paycheck, and she just basically gonna drink it away. Mm-hmm. And as she's there, Frank comes in. They're drinking and they're bonding, and Fiona, they're just drinking and bonding, and he's telling her about this little thing he's gonna do because at this moment it's a blackout. It's a blackout in all of I think Chicago, and since it's a blackout, Frank's gonna go buy stuff from this guy he calls the professor, and because the professor has a backup generator, and he's just the professor says nobody ever plans for blackouts, floods, or anything. So he has a whole grocery store in his basement with his backup generator and everything. And Frank's gonna go get supplies from him and then sell it. And this professor was like, I just want 15% off everything. You pay me back from the cost and then I get 15%. And it's just super messy because Frank is just out here scamming his neighbors. and he gets Fiona in to help. And Fiona and Frank, after like going around the neighborhood and getting their stuff and everything, they come back to the house and Fiona sees her stuff on a curb, and that's what leads to like they Lip and Fiona basically into like a little physical fight. They tussling and everything, and that's what leads to him telling her you need to go to a meeting, and her getting the beer out the refrigerator and drinking it and going, you gotta spit that in his face. It would have been so much better because we were thinking you were gonna spit it in his face and you didn't. And it's just like V is a mess, and like not V. Fiona is a mess, and Fiona goes back to the alibi with Frank, and they're talking, and she asks me, can I crash with you? Because she's trying to figure out where she's gonna go because she is officially kicked out of her home. She ain't got nowhere to stay. It's a mess. Carl's at work, and his boss seems to like him. She's all flirty and everything, and Carl is just like super jealous of. Sorry, my notes. Carl is jealous of Debbie and Kelly because he legit feels like Debbie trying to steal his woman, and it's just like from what it seems, Debbie trying to steal your woman. Well, for me, it seems like they like Debbie and Kelly like each other, but they won't admit it because they don't want to hurt Carl. I'm on the Frank. Okay, Frank tells Frank actually has like a dad moment, or he actually has a moment with Fiona that makes it seem like okay, he's a real father because he tells Fiona, "You are a bad drunk," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" No, I'm not. He was like, "You are a bad drunk. I'm a good like." He's like, "There's two drunks. There's bad drunk and there's a good drunk." He said, "I'm a good drunk because when I'm drunk, when I drink or when I'm drunk, I'm happy and I want to have fun." When Fiona's drunk, she wants to fight. She wants to destroy stuff. She's angry and sad all the time, and she harps on the past and not the present. And it's just like, alcohol is a depressant anyway. So Fiona is feeling some things. I don't know if she's bipolar as well or if she's just like an alcoholic, but she is bad drunk because every time she gets drunk, or all the time she's drinking, as of recently, not in the past, but now she's angry and she gets mean and she's ready to fight. Kevin B, because I almost skipped them and went to the very end. Kev, he's in pain after the whole snip situation, and there was some swelling and everything, and it's just like he got ice on it, and he's just like, it hurts so bad. I'm like, I bet it do. The one of the customers that's always there, he's been there since season one. He asks me, why didn't you get your tubes tied? And she explains it. It's just like they have to cut into my stomach twice, then they have to take the tubes out of my body and tie them and then put them back in my body. And she said, if you ever ask me that again, I will slap you. It's major surgery. It's nothing for a man to have a vasectomy, but for a woman to have her tubes tied, it is major surgery. It's just a mess. Also, B bought steak and crab sole, and when the power went out, she was upset because it's just like no power means no freezer. No freezer means they got to lose $500 that she spent on all these ribeye steaks and this crab sole. And when Kev find out, he started hyperventilating, and it's just oh my god. He went home and tried to get the coats to keep the stuff cold, but that didn't help because by the time that happened, everything was thawed out. Um, so when they get back, he's just like they thawed out, and they're trying to come up with what to do with all these steaks and the crab soles so it won't go bad and they won't lose their money. And around this time, Fiona and Frank are back from, making their money off of everybody in the neighborhood. And Kev decides, okay, we're gonna have a cookout to get rid of all the meat in the crab sole. And he was like, for free, or with like warm beer. V said, we gonna $5. $5 for these ribeyes and this crab sole. I think beer for free because we gonna make back our money. We need to make back this money. It's just a mess. while they're outside having a good time because Carl and Debbie like went to the Kelly's game, like she was having a scrimmage, and it was just like that was a mess in itself, and like everybody's there except for Lip. Lip wasn't there. Kev says Southside takes care of takes care of each other because if they didn't, nobody would, and then they would all fall. And then they find out that okay, North Side has power. They don't, and they're like everybody on the South Side is pissed off because they say South Side is the last to get everything, and they decide to have a march. They go march to the North Side. And during that time they was marching to the North Side, guess what happened? Power came back to the South Side, okay? And they decide, okay, we don't have to march no more. We all got power. So they turn around and go back to Alibi. Fiona, she drunk, she angry that nobody wanted to march, and she goes off on everybody. And you can like they pan to a little scene of Frank, and Frank just like looks so sad. And it's just like if you think about it, Fiona has always been Frank's rock. She was really the only person he can depend on and count on because the rest of the kids can't stand Frank. And Lip's an alcoholic, and he don't really like Frank at all. Ian's in jail with his man Mickey, and really the guy that plays Ian is playing Jerome slash Jeremiah, who's supposed to be an incantation of the Joker on Gotham, so he ain't there. Carl's trying to be go and defend his country somewhere. Debbie got her own kids to worry about, and Liam just a little kid, so don't really care. Like he don't really care what Frank do, and it's just like the whole time the series been going on, Fiona has been the only person Frank could count on, and it's just like it's so sad. I think he feels sad because he's seeing the only person that he had in his life that was a constant, just like ruining her life at this point. Because V went to talk to V went and talked to Lib about the situation about him kicking Fiona out while they were all marching, and Lib was like, to be a friend, you need to let her hit rock bottom so she can go get some help because her losing everything, what she has not hit rock bottom yet. Her losing everything and y'all just like being there was not being a friend. That's being a bystander. And V took it to heart, and she just basically tells Fiona, me and Kev talked about it, and with us and the girls, it's not the right time for you to stay there. And Fiona looks sad because it's just like she thinks she doesn't have anyone to count on, but it's just like you can't help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. And I feel like Lip in this instance is right. Fiona has to hit rock bottom before she can decide for herself that it's time to go and get some help. And Fiona continues to spiral out of control. Kelly, and now we're back at the house, and Kelly tells Carl that they need to break up because he's being too needy and too clingy, and when he stops being too needy and too clingy, then he can call her. Tammy comes by to talk, and Tammy says, Lip tells Lip, you get one vote. I get all 99, the other 99. And she throws out a lot of what ifs, and Lip says he just wants to be a father to the baby if she decides to have the baby, and that's it. And it's just like he's stepping up. Um, Fiona and Frank end up sleeping in her abandoned, about to be demolished apartment building, and Fiona wakes up, and it just looks like she is in so much pain, and just like I don't know if she's detoxing or she's hungover. She's just in so much pain, and she tries to go to the sink for water. No water is on, and then she just like goes into like the little hallway, and she ends up throwing up, and she goes to sit on the stairs, and she finds this like magazine, and it's what she like it was addressed to her when she lived there and owned the building, and it just looked like what she wanted to be because she was on her way to being that, and she just like throws up again, and it's just like at this moment she's hit rock bottom, and it's just like it's so sad. And she didn't expect her life to be what it is right now. She expected her life to be a lot better because she was on the road to making her life better. And everything just started happening one right after the other. And at the end, she goes to a meeting, and Lip is in that meeting. And it was just like, He was right. It took her to hit rock bottom for her to realize I might have a problem with alcohol, or I do have a problem with alcohol. It's time to get some help. And it's you again. You can't help any like if somebody's going through an addiction, or they're drinking all the time, or they're on drugs, or they're doing something. You can't help. You can't help someone who does not want help. So if they hit rock bottom and they realize, okay, I need to get some help, that's really good. If you can help them before and they actually take that help and want to do it, that's also amazing. But she hit rock bottom and she decided for herself it's time to get some help. And I'm happy for her and can't wait for the next episode. This was my recap or review of Shameless Season 9, Episode 12. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, again, like, comment, subscribe. Really, just subscribe and, watch it. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all I need. And, it's good talking to you. I hope to see you next time. Bye.